Damn, son, where'd you find this?
People don't be offended by the truth. They be offended because you called out the truth. Simple as that. They don't want to hear any other narrative that makes them look bad.
One thing I can't stand at this big grown age is somebody who acts like cause and effect does not exist. Like, yes, your actions caused this outcome. Yes, what you did lit the match. Like, why are you surprised and playing victim?
Guys, Chico, they never lied.
That's how you know somebody doesn't respect you. They listen to reply, not to be understood. They cut you off. They minimize what actually matters to you. They laugh at your boundaries, and then they call you sensitive when you try to hold the line. They show up late. They cancel last minute, forget the things you've told them, because in their world, your time, your energy, even your voice aren't a priority. They're just an option. You see, there are two kinds of people. Those who adjust when they realize they've actually hurt you, and those who expect you to adjust so they don't have to change. You don't need to be disrespected loudly to be disrespected deeply. Sometimes you'll see it. It's just in their tone, in their patterns, in the silence after you're known. Respect isn't what they say when they're watching. It's how they act when they think you'll tolerate it.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I am, my ancestors speak. They tell me they're tired of the run on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep. Longing to sing until I surpass peak. Until they think we are equal, please. All I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their bones would bleed. Begging the generations remember our story.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Peace and blessings. Happy Thursday. Hope all is well with everybody today. Thank you for being in attendance with us this brisk Thursday morning. I hope all is well. Shout outs to my poets, my writers, my content creators, authors. You see the title. Do me a solid, like, share, repost. Let the people know we are on. We got a lot to cover. I told you this was going to be an interesting week. And yeah, it definitely is. I got a clip that I'm going to play. Now, they're just giving you cliff notes. But I want to know what the people think about this whole situation. We've been down this road before already, but they have made it perfectly clear where they stand on this whole situation between Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion. Guilty or innocent? Justified or conspiracy? That's what we're here to discuss this morning. I got Sydney in the building. I will be bringing her up shortly. Yeah. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this on a big screen first. Let me know. Sid, are you here?
Hello. How you doing? It is cold today. I'm not a fan.
Yes, yes. I absolutely love it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're not a big fan of it. I welcome it. The only thing missing is the snow, but
We're gonna get rain soon, apparently, so I'm excited for that part.
got you covered. Um, yeah, the verdict is in. The appeal, they denied it. He's going to have to serve the entire sentencing. I'm gonna run this clip. It's like 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna go from there with this. Let's see.
It looks like Tory Lanez will not be home anytime soon. Tory Lanez's conviction and for his involvement in the shooting of Megan Thee Stallion is upheld by the Court of Appeals. On Wednesday, November 12th, a final ruling on Tory's case was handed down by the California Court of Appeals, Second Appellate District. According to court documents obtained by XXL, the court ruled that Tory's 2022 conviction on charges of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, carrying a loaded, unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and discharging a firearm in a grossly negligent manner to cause bodily injury is upheld. In doing so, they affirmed his 10-year prison sentence. Tory has been fighting his guilty verdict since he was convicted in December of 2022 of shooting Megan Thee Stallion during an argument in 2020. Tory is eligible for parole in September of 2029. Now, I've seen every theory, conspiracy thrown out there. A lot of people talk about Rock Nation, and I know Rock Nation controls the world at this point, but my whole viewpoint and thought process on it is y'all can't build a big conspiracy when nobody made him go out with those women that night. Nobody made him get drunk and do whatever he did with those women that led up to that argument, involve himself with both of those women at the same time, which led to a big argument in the car. No one told anybody to put a semi-automatic firearm in the car. Like, there's so much that happened that you have to give, like, him some responsibility for. We can't just build this whole conspiracy about this was all set up by the powers that be at Rock Nation and just remove anything he was involved in. Like, it doesn't make any sense, you know, but that's me applying logic to a situation in which you guys don't like using logic. You like talking about emotions and feelings. I do not know who fired that firearm. I don't know exactly what went down in that car. I don't know a lot of things. But I know for a fact, you can't put yourself in situations and then start blaming outside sources for everything that took place. Because guess what? If it wasn't you, I don't think this is a situation where it would have been considered snitching. If you, there's certain things that snitching. If I'm involved in some street shit, if I'm trapping, if I'm handling some business and we get caught or whatever, and I start telling, I'm a rat. I'm a rat. You feel me? If my neighbor is Jeffrey Dahmer, I am calling the police. You feel me? Like, I don't care. That's not snitching. You feel me? If somebody shot that woman and I had nothing to do with it, I'm telling, like, bro, you doing 10 years and you adamant about you not doing it, but you won't say who did it. Like, some people too tough for me. I know Cameron said he wouldn't snitch if his neighbor was a serial killer and shit. I'm not Cameron, gang. I don't know. Listen, man, I don't care, man. How you guys feel about it, man? Till next time, I'm out of here.
No snitch code. I'm not telling if I'm innocent. I'm not going to put the guilty person behind bars. You shouldn't have put yourself in this position. It's the conspiracy theory. Did he get screwed over? We've talked about this before, but this is the final verdict. What are your thoughts?
Um, in regards to the actual event, I couldn't quite say because I don't exactly remember all the evidence that was available. But I definitely resonated with what he was saying in regards to one, people love to make everything a conspiracy theory. I mean, we see it in politics, we see it with celebrities, we see it in other really random things. Like dead people are alive that have been publicly like we know they're dead, but people still see them on islands and random places throughout the world. Like we've heard all sorts of conspiracy theories about murders and who actually did it, and everything's connected to some underground organization. So I always find it interesting how often people turn to conspiracies to explain things, even if the answer seems very cut and dry. It's almost like people are unwilling to accept whatever the real outcome was, especially if it has a very simple explanation. I've noticed when they're very like, this is how it happened, most people are like, no, that can't be. That can't be. It's too easy. Also, the whole aspect of snitching, I think, is also quite interesting. There's a lot of interesting psychology behind why snitching is such a huge deal. But in general, I do find it kind of ironic how snitching can now apply to people who just turn in somebody that did something illegal. There's such a stigma now with being a narc. And I do kind of wonder, where it stems from. Okay, thank you. Want me to throw away her trash. She's saying trash can. uh, I don't know if it's more recent, but I've noticed that people are doing this more often. Where if they like somebody, they're automatically gonna be like, "No, you snitched. You turned them in." So we can definitely get into that more. But initial thoughts, I do find it kind of interesting how people are still reacting to this case, even though it kind of seems like, to me, it seems like it makes sense how the case kind of came to a close.
The one thing that I agree with this guy on is Tory Lanez put himself in this position because he should have never even been involved with either or. He was dealing with the friend while he had things going on with Megan. So you screwed yourself over already with that. That plays a huge role in this. Because jealousy is a bitch. And when you are in a relationship with one person, but you're dealing with the friend, what do you think is going to happen with that? As far as that whole Rock Nation stuff and that man managing to make a certain amount of money doing things independently, exposing the music industry on how they use their artists, that's something completely separate. I really don't subscribe to that portion of it where they're trying to say they had something to do with this. You really don't know. Conspiracy theories are conspiracy theories for a reason. Now, I don't blame everything on conspiracies. I really believe if you don't want to be in the position like he's in, then have some discipline. Maybe don't drink. Maybe don't smoke. Maybe don't be inebriated where your decision making is poor and you lack the ability to look at these conditions that you're in and say, I don't know if this is such a good idea. Maybe I should not be dealing with this type of a person. Maybe with my type of attitude, I should be more aware of my surroundings and who I have in my life. No Megan Thee Stallion relationship. There's no meeting of him and her friend. If none of these people ever cross paths, there is no gun in the car. If there's no gun in the car, then there's no, well, what really happened in the car? Then we wouldn't have a situation where this man is in prison. So with that part, I'm like, you didn't really have to be here at all, right? I can go. I'm gonna go a little further into it, but those are my initial thoughts on that.
In regards to the conspiracy theory around, I'm already blanking on the name, the record company. What would they even stand to gain in that situation? If like, are people saying that if like, are they trying to say that he didn't do it and they're trying to help him, or are they saying that they helped him do it to promote him? Like, what's the whole deal behind that? Like, why are they saying that that company's involved with his whole incident?
So my guess is he put out a video that pretty much, I wish I could find it. He put out a video. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look for it. He put out a video that basically said the industry is screwing artists over. You're not getting paid what you should be getting paid. Let me show you how to get all of your money. And whatever he did, he managed to sell so much of his content without the help of the industry that it triggered and pissed people off. Because now what you're doing is you're opening the gateway for these rappers and these singers to say, well, if Tory Lanez can do this without X, Y, and Z, then I can do the same thing. And they didn't like that. That's the assumption. And I think that is one of the reasons why a lot of people felt the way they felt about him. Also, Megan Thee Stallion has a lot to lose in this, right? Because she's one of the biggest female rappers out. People love her. That's their money. That's their meal ticket. So you're going to do everything in your power to try to protect her brand and keep her in rotation. You don't want that money to dry up. So you got this guy who is showing you how to make money without them, dealing with this woman, and then you have this whole love triangle, if you want to call it that. Yeah, we have to do something, but that's in theory, of course. I personally believe, based on what I saw, They absolutely screwed that man over. I believe Megan Thee Stallion is more or less protected, and he wasn't, because he decided that he wanted to do things solo. He didn't want to fall under the corporate umbrella and be a slave to a corrupt system that is pretty much robbing people. So because he went independent on his own and she is under their control and under their guidance, they're going to definitely look out for her over him. It's pretty much screw you. But that's just my opinion, of course. The evidence that was brought up in this appeal from the video footage that I saw, from the audio, from the testimony that I saw, everything pointed in the direction of his innocence. So somehow, some way, they looked at all of that and they said, nope, we don't care about it. We absolutely, matter of fact, I'm gonna look for that real quick too. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. I don't know if that's 100% the case here, but you know, when you're trying to protect your brand or you're trying to ensure that your reputation is held to a certain standard, you don't want nobody to come in and disrupt that flow. So I yield the mic.
That is really interesting. I can definitely understand people's apprehension about the fact that, like, how on earth have you been able to make it so big when you're relying on your own, like, grassroots kind of approach? I've heard this myself just from certain politicians, where the politicians that seek funding through, as I said, grassroots approach, through getting money directly from from voters and people in the community, they tend to get a lot of backlash because they're like, "Are you sure? Where's your money actually coming from?" Where there's a lot of, obviously, candidates that are getting their money from larger sources, and I don't know, there's kind of like mixed reactions to them, it seems, where some people attack them for choosing the corporate organizations, depending on what they are, and then some people are like, oh no, it means they're reputable, it means that they're people that can be trusted because they are, like, being open and forward with who's funding them and stuff like that. As we've seen, it also happens with, like, protesters and stuff like that, where people don't want to believe that people are going on their own accord, that they're actually there just because they want to. People think that, like, oh yeah, they're just being backed by some sponsor, by some funder. I can definitely understand why people would have that apprehension. Like, how are you doing that? Like, they don't understand how it could work. But obviously, I don't know for sure.
Imagine you thinking you get ready to play with my feelings.
Just my guess is maybe the reason why he has more success is he knows exactly which specific group to market to. Whereas marketing companies typically take a more broad approach, where they're like, all right, this is our demographics, these are who we're going to advertise to, whatnot. But with individuals that are doing it for themselves, they know who their supporters are exactly. They know who are buying their records. They know which platforms are going to be the most successful. And so they have a more pointed approach. And they're probably targeting their actual fans rather than just, like, everybody broadly. So I feel like that could be a reason why he's been so wildly successful in comparison to people that are backed by companies. But Again, I can't exactly remember the evidence, but I think you're about to show that, or at least bits of it. So again, I wouldn't be able to say if, like, for sure, like, oh yeah, that looks suspicious. But it is very interesting aspect to the case, and it makes you wonder if maybe they weren't involved in, like, messing with the evidence, but maybe they were funding her to try and help her get better lawyers or other stuff behind the scenes in regards to the legal teams. Because we all know that your lawyer can very, very heavily impact the outcome of your case, because very, very well paid, powerful lawyers have a lot of sway, a lot of resources, and a lot of methods to kind of get you through the system relatively unscathed. So it's still very intriguing, even if we kind of have a resolution to it.
So, all right, this is what I want to do, right? Because they said without a shadow of a doubt that he's pretty much guilty of all charges. Now, when the woman spoke up, I can't remember her name, and said, look, I got called in on behalf of the family. The DNA alone proved 99.9% that his DNA was not on the weapon. That portion right there alone should have been enough. But wait, this video right here, and this is for the people who, was on my case when I originally spoke on this a few months ago, and they said, show the evidence, show the evidence, show the evidence, but it's in circulation. It's available to everybody. This clip right here this isn't even the clip that I responded to. I still have my video up. In the video that I reacted to, you will see her get out of the limo, and she gets out of the limo and she steps on glass. There's no altering it. It's raw footage.
Where did she get shot or hurt?
She didn't get shot. She's saying she got shot in the foot. But in this video right here, you hear her say, I didn't get shot. I stepped on glass. I don't need this to ruin my image. So I'm gonna play this, and I'll finish my thought. This ain't a very long clip.
Okay. I cannot have that on my image. Okay.
You got shot?
I didn't get shot.
Oh, you did it?
No, ma'am. I mean, no, sir. So how did that happen to you? Glass. Glass? Where? Where we were coming from. I go to jail. Okay.
She did not get shot in the foot. She stepped on glass. You could see visibly her getting out of the limo. She steps on it and then she stumbles. Not only that, the bodyguard's testimony, the DNA, there was way too much evidence to support his innocence. But you mean to tell me that with all of that, you still found him guilty. Right.
It's pretty suspicious.
Exactly. So when I hear this and they tell me, or will they tell the world, yeah, he's going to have to sit this one down. You see folks in the comment section, but where everybody at who said this and said that? Did you not see what we saw? I think people, they like a person so much that they don't care if they're guilty or not.
That's definitely true. I mean, look at the White House.
Exactly. And when you like look at it like this woman got a Boondocks little series supposed to be on the way. She has all these brand deals, all these opportunities coming to her. She just got into a relationship with a Klay Thompson. They all over social media, lovey-dovey, supposedly getting a house together. They are protecting her. In my honest opinion, they're protecting her. She just here openly admitted. But to be fair, if you want to say that could have been doctored footage, you can do that. But this ain't the only angle.
There's also did he like shoot through her window? Because I know they were in the car when that happened, right? Or what if he like he did shoot through the window and miss them, and then when she got out, she stepped on glass, and then she used that to be like, oh yeah, he shot us, and use that as her injury. So like he did do the shooting, but he didn't actually hit her, but then she said that he hit her. So then both stories would be true. Like she lied, but he did also shoot her. Do you think that could be a possibility?
The DNA says he didn't even have the gun in his hand.
I will push back on that just a little bit, just from research that I've done in the past and stuff that I've seen. Sometimes DNA will come back wrong. It's not foolproof because, like one, if you wipe off the weapon or it somehow gets like changing hands, the person whose DNA was originally on it can be either diluted or wiped off. There's a lot of cases where DNA is matched to somebody, but then they end up finding out later that it was somebody completely different. And there are some issues with the whole taking DNA process. So there is technically a possibility that he could like it still could have been him, but there's just other people's DNA on it, and the more prevalent DNA that was picked up was not his. That actually happened to me in a small way, where when I took a test for my daughter to figure out what her gender was, it was an external thing where you like took a tiny blood draw from your arm, and if anyone else's DNA was present on you during that time, it can give you a false result. And at the time, I was living in a tiny hotel with my husband, my son, and two male cats. And I got a male result for her because it picked up on the male DNA on me. But it ended up being a girl. So there are cases there, like you could find them just like Googling it. There's a lot of cases where DNA comes back wrong. So that is also a possibility, but it's still, this whole story does sound fishy as hell.
I want to play this next clip. Tory Lanez's bodyguard. He was the one that was actually present there. Makes a statement. Let me just put this out there. If he's guilty, he's guilty. If he's innocent, then there's no way that this should be acceptable. But I'm gonna run this one real quick. This, I haven't heard this particular one. Let me hear what he says.
Hey, Pookie Pop. First of all, free Tory Lanez. Because Megan, you lied. Second of all, if he wouldn't have got in the middle of you and Kelsey, it would have been R.I.P. Megan Thee Stallion. So you're welcome. But what he get in return? A jail sentence. Are you kidding me? Tory Lanez's bodyguard, Jaquan Smith, made a statement. This is all alleged. This is allegedly. You know the girls like to sue. He's basically just alluding to the fact that Megan and Kelsey got into it. Things got heated, physical and verbal. Kelsey had a firearm and she let that hoe off. And Tory tried to stop her. And yeah, Megan got popped. Allegedly. Yeah. But Megan made it seem like Tory popped her. Lying is helpful. It's always protect black woman, but when a black man tries to, look what happens. You gave him your ass to kiss and made a song called Cobra. When he tried to protect you, if it wasn't for him, your ass would be gone. Very glad you got popped in the foot and not nowhere else. Be grateful. And Kelsey need to go to jail. Or prison. And bitch, I said what the fuck I said. Don't come in my comments with the bullshit, girl, because I'm ready.
Yeah, that's the same statement that I heard. He got in the way. He was trying to stop the whole situation. The gun went off. Nobody actually got hit. But this is what I got from it. This is what I got from it, right? Kelsey and Megan were fighting over him. It turned into something. Kelsey took the gun, fired it, or at least tried to hit Megan with it. Tory Lanez got in the middle of it, tried to de-escalate it. The bullet didn't hit her, but they knew the police were coming. So they had to figure out how to stage some type of situation. And they pretty much threw him under the bus. That's how I feel about this. His own bodyguard says, look, this ain't on him. The video shows her basically saying, look, I can't have this on me. She admits to stepping on glass. I believe she purposely stepped on the glass. And they used that as a scapegoat to put that man behind bars so that not only would it protect her friend, Tory Lanez know her friend shot her or tried to shoot her. He won't say nothing. And now he's in jail because of it. While this woman is out here allegedly living her best life. Just my take.
Was the friend currently in a relationship with him, or were they broken up or trying to get together? What stage of the relationship were they in?
I'm not sure. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't even think it really makes a difference because there's people who don't want you dating their exes. Like you have that bro code or that sister code where I'll never deal with your ex. Like whether or not you were with them or not, if I know you even like them, I'm not gonna talk to them. So I think that's this situation. Either way, I'm not really sure if he was dealing with her before or after, but
So I would wonder if potentially they were in a relationship, the friend wanted to end it and he didn't, and then what if they even like set him up because she wanted him out of the relationship, or she wanted out of the relationship, and just because I mean we've seen story after story like that where the partner wants to end the relationship and they end up killing the spouse because they either want to end it or don't want it to end, and they're mad. So I wonder if that could also be a situation. The other thing that I'm really questioning is there is a distinct difference between a wound that comes from stepping on glass and a wound that comes from being shot in the foot. How? I don't understand. How do you mix those two up? Like one is literally going to be a slit through one side of your foot. The other one is going to be a hole that either goes straight through your foot or deep into your foot. Like, how does that work? I don't understand how you can confuse those two injuries. I'm like, either she has some damn good lawyers or I don't even know. Like that would be my only argument for like, well, maybe he did. But again, if you stepped on glass, that injury is going to be from the bottom up. If you get shot in the foot, that's going to be from the top down. So I don't believe like if she like I hope or wish that they showed injury photos, because I think that would really be the nail in the coffin to show whether it happened or not. Because again, there's a distinct difference between getting shot and getting cut. Also, this is more so a little bit of a joke, but I guess we'll just have to listen to her upcoming album to and now that he's going to jail, she's going to have some lyrics in there. We're going to know the truth.
does anything really surprise us anymore, or you or me or the next person? We just finished doing a whole show on protesters being allegedly bought, elections being rigged. Why would anybody be surprised at this? Yeah. They did everything in the world to try to keep Diddy from going to jail. Hell, they doing everything in their power to give him the lightest sentence possible. Right now, all he got to do is be on good behavior, sober up, and give it a year plus, or a little bit over. That man ain't about to do 4 years. Nah, they absolutely had something against Tory Lanez. I don't know exactly what it was, but they definitely had some type of agenda.
I mean, the perfect modern example is what's happening with Ghislaine Maxwell. Like, we all know she was involved. She literally worked side by side with him. She's the one that every single girl said she's the first contact. She's in all the lists. She did all the work. And now she's commuted to a cushy prison because she she's being paid off. Like, everybody knows it. We all know it. There's very rich, powerful people involved in that whole scandal. And it should come at no surprise that she's given cushy treatment because they're hoping she'll keep her mouth shut. Like, this is a society that we're living in right now. This is why wealth and power do not go together. Because as soon as you have wealth and power, you're going to use those resources to make sure you get to keep both. And if you are pitted against the masses and you're wealthier than the masses in its entirety, you're going to get away with whatever you want. All you have to do is pay the right people, pay people to look the other direction. And unfortunately, because of how society is set up, because of social media, because of the news and the infiltration into every system, it's very easy to trick the public into believing other things. And I think that's also why conspiracy theories are peddled so frequently, is because sometimes it's the people behind the whole scandal themselves peddling those conspiracy theories. That's why we hear all this stuff, like with the Epstein issues, that, oh, it's the Democrats. Oh, yeah, they're just making it up. This is a witch hunt. This is insert conspiracy theory, because they're trying to divert our eyes. And so this is probably just another conspiracy type situation where they're trying to blame somebody else to distract from something else. Who knows what that actually is? Like, for all we know, maybe there's even something deeper going on with her, and she's using this to divert attention towards that away from herself. But it goes to show how easy it is for people that are rich and powerful to get out of uncomfortable situations relatively unscathed. And really, it's an indication of what we're in for into the future, because this is only going to get worse. And as we know, the richer people get, the less that we have. And all of us are going to be the sufferers of this type of behavior as we continue to encourage and essentially fund these people with our views and our support. We're digging ourselves deeper into a hole, because eventually they're going to start taking advantage of us openly, freely. And I always use this quote: we're going to have nothing and be happy.
It's sad you can't have conversations like this without people getting pissy, overly triggered. It's all right to like people and be a fan of their content or whatever. It's something completely different when y'all really be crashing out. You lose your mind over these people. Like they changed your life forever. Like Ed McMahon just walked up to your porch with a big check and said, "Congratulations." No, they don't know you. Most of these people don't like you. The clip the clip that I just uploaded like an hour ago. Yep, like an hour ago. It's a rapper by the name of Skrilla, and he openly tells you, "I am a Satan worshiper. I practice Satanism." That song that everybody is saying 6-7 to, and that particular 6-7 has a demonic message in it. There's a meaning behind it. Go check that last video out. You think I'm joking? He says it out of his mouth. And people forget that we are in a spiritual plane. It's not just physical. That man openly tells you, "I practice dark magic. I take specific names and I curse them. So you got your children listening to this stuff. You listening to this stuff, and the whole time you don't even know that these people are demonic, man. A lot of these folks are evil as hell. Megan Thee Stallion ain't no different to me. Because for you to move on with your life knowing what happened here, I'm speaking on me. I'm not speaking for nobody else. For you to know what happened, and he knows what happened, and Kelsey knows what happened, for the judge in California to make the judgment that they made, knowing, yeah, you're right. This system, man, is garbage. It is. And all I'm gonna say about it, Megan, well, you, Clay, you can take all the pictures, you can take all the videos, you can get married, you can have that beautiful career and family, and you can do all that. You don't pull the wool over everybody's eyes. You might get away with it here. Eventually, this stuff is going to catch up with you. Everybody who was involved with these conspiracies and these entrapments is all going to catch up with all of you. You're not going to get away with it. Because when you do wrong by somebody, what do you think is going to happen to you? That's messed up, though. That's really, really messed up. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. Where's the black excellence? Where's the sister code? You got it.
Going off of one of the things that you said, how like these people are terrible, terrible influences that people like, I mean, literally people died at Michael Jackson concerts because they were so like overcome by his presence. And we have so many people out there that think that these celebrities love them in kind, that if they look their way, oh my God, they noticed me. And people go head over heels spending thousands of dollars just to meet these people, just to get a signature, just to get a look from them. And these celebrities do not care. They don't care about you. And if they show care for you, chances are they're doing it because it helps their image. Like, I know I'm going to have a lot of people come at me for this, but I get why you'd like Taylor Swift, but among others, I don't trust when they're putting themselves out there, like bragging about all the wonderful stuff that they're doing, because they're using it for publicity. They don't genuinely care about you. Like, I guarantee most of these people, after they help them, they're not going to try and be friends with them. They're not going to check in on them from time to time and be like, hey, how you doing? I was thinking about you. Like, I just wanted to make sure you're doing okay. Like, most of these people that do things for other people publicly, they're doing it because it helps them, because it makes them look good. And people are like, oh, I'm going to buy her album because she's a wonderful person. Like, it pays to be publicly nice, and it also pays to be publicly unruly, because as we know, clickbait gets you ads and gets you eyes, and in turn, ads and eyes are money. And people don't really consider how insignificant they are to a highly, highly powerful, wealthy person. Like, we want to believe so badly that they care about us, that they speak to us through the music, but they don't. They're doing it for themselves. A lot of them probably love what they're doing, and they're not doing it just for the money, but we have to keep in mind that they're all still celebrities. They all still rely on the money that we give them. And in regards to Megan Thee Stallion, exactly what you're saying, even I've seen 5-year-old girls dancing to her music. Like, these are not good influences that we want to laud, especially for our younger kids. Like, a lot of people want like the common description I've heard people give is, well, it's female empowerment. And I don't understand how, like, sexualizing yourself is female empowerment. I'm like, I get wanting to be proud of your body, and no woman should be ashamed of her body. But doing that type of behavior for money should not be a sense of empowerment. It degrades yourself, to be honest. We like to promote people that, again, catch our eyes. And the people that catch our eyes are not the same people that catch our ears. The people that catch our ears are the ones that are speaking out to try and make a difference. But we don't see those people getting promoted because we're so short. We have such a short-term memory, short-term focus, that we give our attention to people who are interesting to watch, not interesting to listen to. There's a reason why TikTok is one of the leading accounts or websites right now, because short, tiny bits of attention is all it requires to engage on TikTok. Whereas YouTube, sure, it's still one of the most powerful social media sites, but overwhelmingly, people don't watch an hour and a half long content. Most people gravitate towards the 5 minutes or less type content because, again, with how the world is, everyone's working like 3-4 jobs just to get by. People have kids and can't get childcare. People don't have money to afford doing anything else. So they sit there watching short, quick videos day after day. And this is the type of life that is promoted by celebrities, because they all, I guess I should say, they all make money off of us. And so it's a dangerous way to think that these celebrities actually care about us, and that's why you should support them. I think at this point, we should be supporting the people that are genuinely talented, not the people that just put out stuff regularly, because we have to start being more discriminate with who we support, because at this point, who we support with our money are going to be the people making the rules. And clearly we see how that's working out for us right now.
My final thoughts: stay prayed up, stay covered, because where we're at right now, people are willing and ready to do any and everything to survive, however they need to, whether it's to become successful or if it's to maintain or to come out of something. People are starving for attention, starving for validation, starving for notoriety. People are turning their backs on themselves, on their families, on their friends, on their business partners. unfortunately, this is another case to me that we see so much. The happy endings don't typically come when we want them to, or we don't always see karma when it's supposed to come. Sometimes it ain't for us to witness. Sometimes it's for the other person or somebody down the line. If he was truly guilty, then so be it. But there's been folks that spent 30, 40 years of their life in jail for stuff they didn't do. And nobody bats an eye to it. You can't give somebody back 20, 30, 40 years of their life. Be careful with what you sow and what you put out here. Stop being so quick to deal with every single body because they got money or they got fame and they can get you through them doors. You might not want to walk through every door that's offered to you. I'm just saying. My neighbor keeps pooping all the bags. I don't know if you just trolling or not, but I'm gonna say this, man. My thoughts and prayers go out to Tory and his family. My thoughts and prayers go out to this entire situation. It's ugly. Nobody should ever be put in this type of position, period. Fellas, everything ain't for you. Ladies, every man is not for you. Be more considerate and use more discerning with dating and getting yourself intertwined with people so you can avoid stories like this. All this could have been avoided if he would have left her alone, if he went on about his own business. That's all I'm gonna say. I appreciate you, Sid, for pulling up. Shout out to Arcana. Shout out to Elroy. Shout out to everybody in the building tonight. We back. David Skywatch, what's going on, sir? Yeah, this right here, how can I say it? When you walk in sin and you live according to your own flesh and your own desires, you do harden your heart because you don't want to be held accountable for the things that you are doing that is actually wrong in the eyes of the one that it matters to. So you close that off and you continue to be out here dealing with different spirits and different people. And this whole situation right here has a lot to do with that to me. So, I mean, I agree. And like, it's just going to continue to go on a decline. But yeah, we'll be back later on. If y'all around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard, tap in. It's going to be another goodie. I got someone joining the panel. I'm behind the scenes. I'm working on some stuff. I got somebody that's going to be joining us real soon. Actually, I'm looking I got some stuff cooking up. God is good. I give him all glory, praise, and honor. But I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your afternoon. If you need to reach me, you know where I'm at. Check out that video I just dropped about the industry. The guy, he's telling you he's practicing Satanism. The music that these kids are listening to, they don't understand. The parents don't understand that this content is being used through a demonic vessel, and he's pretty much telling you this is what is happening, and he's loud about it. It's not like it's hidden, it's right here in your face. Matter of fact, pray. If you're gonna watch that video, pray before you watch that video, because I don't want none of that stuff that he's doing. I don't want it to rub off on you. That's how serious it is. But we out. Talk to y'all later, Lord willing.
I did have a poem to read if you want.
Go ahead.
Okay. I picked this for one specific quote because I thought it fit. Scourge of Entitlement. Around calculated corners, behind barricaded borders, live half-hardened people with fat, faithless feet, dining on paper poison with trash heaps for sleep, lives stolen off and shipped to feed an intellectual war. The gardens of integrity for generations bloomed bright, now wither painfully in false digital light. Monuments crumble in the shadow of false kings as powerful bask wearing imperial rings. These most deceptive crimes parse humans from their whole, while original sin is sold for insidious goals. To forgive forgiveness, to force us to forget fables of old fathers thrown into deep seething seas. From fragile fabrics of the universe, shards of reality are stolen and cursed. Images for wallpaper and trash, plaster palaces of marble and ash. These pleased heathens beseech greed behind windows of double-paned glass, preaching with mosaics from the slavery class, as we pray to hips without souls attached. Up on the hills, they built their homes with velvet promises and ivory bones, tactfully treacherous while begging for clothes, protecting their evils, they shan't be exposed. Straight ahead eyes, staring, ignoring, hearts cold, hands deceptively fold. Worry not for those who own all the gold, instead fear for those who have been bought and sold. For greed is a shame, but really quite tame, than the ones observing nuns with disdain, who happily throw less thans in front of a train. Worry not of the wealthy that live like we do, instead fear for the eager that profit off you.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship,